How you guys doing? This is Andrew at FloryPB, and the bench is still a mess, but we are going to try to put the rest of the Marq together right now. I just have the regulator broke down. I'm going to try to put an 015 quad ring on. It's a little bit small, but I was trying to muscle an 016 in there, and just the way that it's all machined, it just doesn't really fit well. So we're going to try an 015. A lot of markers I wouldn't recommend screwing around with the O-ring size on the HPR, but there is an LPR on this, so I think my solenoid is safe regardless of what I do. But if I overpressurize the marker, I will find out when it shoots really hot or not at all. We tossed a quad ring in there. I've wanted to from the beginning. It's supposed to be an 016 again. I had to put an 015 in there. Just the shelf that they put in there is not enough of a machined taper on it, which would be kind of a hard-ass thing to do. I could probably put in the lathe and get it done, but that seems like a pain in the ass. The real thing we're doing here is we're running into problems where we're crushing our tubes on our plate that we made. So I went to Clippard and I bought a bunch of stuff. So there's really no reason to buy small quantities from Clippard because, you know, they charged me $20-something for shipping, 2-day shipping, came a week and a half later. Beautiful classic Clippard work there. But we're going to use a couple of the smaller hoses. I picked up a bigger hose and a smaller hose. And it feels not much better. Actually, probably worse than this hose. But it is additional hose. It was very cheap, but it is bulk. And yeah, let's use some of our fittings. I picked up some fittings that I'm not going to use for this project yet. Just fittings to have. More fittings to have, rather. And let's use the ones that I wanted for this. Which are going to be either you guys, .1/16 ID, 1/16 ID, okay. So these are universal fittings. I think this is going to work the easiest. So we're just going to run with this one to start. And these are just set up as banjo bolts. So the air can go through them. And it's going to allow me to change the angle. And hopefully the goal is just to try to get this frame to close on this. And then the hose doesn't get jammed up where it was getting jammed up before, and then hopefully everything's good. So let's see. That's unfortunately still just too big, which does suck. So let's go for my second option, which is a hope and a dream. But these are slightly smaller. These are non-banjo 90s. At least the back one, if I can make this work, might be everything I need. Wow, I got lucky there. But I think I'm still resting on it, which blows. Yeah, so we're still just a bit too high, which is really not cool. Let's take a look at this real quick. That goes up pretty high. That is unfortunate. I'm trying to get away without trying to machine this frame, do any damage to the marker itself. But it's just hitting that lip there. Because, you know, they never intended for this to be like that. Which, that doesn't even look that bad. That might work. Let me grab the bolts real quick and see if this thing will shut. Because that will dictate a lot about what we're trying to do next. Oh, that's the hard part about the Marq. Especially this one. Alright, that might be good. Definitely torch this one a little bit, so let's tighten this down. That feels pretty good. Yeah, that might have done it, guys. Let's take this back apart. Try to get some hoses going in it. I appreciate what they were doing with this, but damn, was this a bad idea. Okay. Yep, it's definitely hitting, but that's not the end of the world. And that's definitely where it wants to be to seal itself, I'm pretty sure. But let's throw some Teflon on this. Try to double down on the sealing. Grab some of the black hose. thread that through like that. That should be pretty good. I'm pretty sure the front one I can actually just get away with what I had in there, which was just a straight barb. One of these. And this is my smaller of my straight barb, so I'm just going to use this one. If I can get it to thread. Alright, so that's just not going to work. Luckily, we have the banjos, so we can just key that in. Alright, that's also a little big. This is a tight fit. But I think that's it. Oh, man. You get some of that smaller. There's an end. So I have the setup where the Parker hose is on the back and the clipper hose is on the front. The Parker has markings on it and the clipper does not. And I'll find what I did with that sooner or later. And I am missing gotta be somewhere in this mess. There it is. All right. This is my Parker hose. Leave it real long for the test just because. Make sure I'm not kinking it anywhere. All right. fitting too. This one is kind of... forgot about that. Let's see what we do. I'm going to use my lower pressure tank just in case. All of that is the macro there. All right. Find my trigger point. No go. Feels like it's actuating. Oh. We have no air in the marker. It's been a long day, guys. That's not that bad. That's where I want the trigger. No leak? Yeah. Quiet that down a little bit. Oh, plus I got the pillow bow I don't want to knock out of there. Forgot about that guy. All right. That's a result. If I shorten this hose up, I'm going to get a little more out of it. This hose I can leave long, but if I shorten that up too, I'm going to get a little more efficiency out of the marker. But that's not bad right now. That's a good result, I think. She's functioning. She's shooting. It's definitely dark out. It's 9-something right now. I just want to, you know, I want to get this off my chest, do something today that made me happy. And shit, that sounds pretty good. Alright guys, so now let's shorten these hoses up a tiny bit. We can do it, we're right here. Alright, so that tucks in there. You can get shorter as well. But we don't exactly need that pointed this way either, but that can easily go like that, and it's not pinching. Let's repoint this one. I think it wants to be forward. I think that works. And that would do that. That does not pinch that wire either, or that hose rather. Let's give it a little air and double check. Jesus. Need a little bit longer of a macro. I think that's the next thing I'm going to do for that. All right, let's toss our grips back on. And I'm excited. Tomorrow I'll give it a field test, hopefully. And might have a guess. I don't know. I don't think there's another mechanical Marq out there yet. Might be the first mechanical Marq. I kind of got the bug to do this again. Maybe I'll try something a little different on the next one, but let's get this one going the way we want it to. That might be touching the solenoid, or the MAC valve, I should say. But yeah, as of now, that sounds pretty damn good. And this is a mechanical Dark Marq with 100% reversible. And you can barely even tell. And make sure. See, there's the one thing you can do, is if you don't give this an actual shot, and I figured this would be the case with this marker specifically, because it's a pop-it valve, where if you go real slow, so that is resting on some stuff then, this one. Alright. See, I'm getting a little leak again. If I can tune that out, and all the tuning that would be is just making sure that I can get that poppet all the way open where it wants to be open. That extra little bit of tuning there will go a long way. And just the overall performance of this marker. But that, if you go real slow, you can short it. And the consistency of this might, or is going to dictate a little bit on making sure you have a crisp firing action. If you're slow on the trigger, you're not going to get a good shot. You got to be nice and crisp on the trigger, and that consistency is going to lead to some consistency issues with these markers, because this is a poppet valve marker. So it's building energy, and if I open this valve slower to not let as much energy build as fast as it wants to in the back of the marker to push the ram forward, it's going to lose consistency. So we're going to probably tune the LPR probably a bit hot just to help compensate for that. And yeah, and everything else is just making sure you hit this nice and crisp would be the way to shoot one of these. Unless I get a newer one with the spool valve, but I don't actually know. I have a newer one, actually. I have a Vis, but I never actually took the spool valve out to even look at it to see if it's a sealing spool valve. What you want is you want a spool valve marker like an old DM or an old shocker like this that is a fully sealed spool, and this could be made into another mechanical marker that's actually still a shocker, not a new shocker ion thing. But this could also be made into one, and this would actually be easier in a way because you don't have to worry about your trigger then, because it's just a spool. It's just going to slide the bolt forward and close the dump chamber off as it slides it forward. That would be the key with one of these, or DM or something like that. But we're going to probably make a couple more like this one into mechanical markers because I have them, and like I said, I would never use this again if it was electro. Board had a bad screen. Don't care about it enough. Had enough of these, or had enough markers where this just kind of sits in a pile. But now I have a mechanical mark. I'm definitely going to try to use this. Stay tuned. Next video will be the shooting video of this. All right. It's Andrew at FloryPB. I thought this was going to be quick, but it definitely meandered a little bit. Sorry about that. Mechanical Dark Marq looks like it, or sounds like it's shooting pretty good right now. I'm going to do a little more tweaking of it, and we are going to do a shooting video next. All right, guys. That's it for this one. See ya.